everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage, and today we're going to be having a look at BTC. Let's get into the price action and see what's going on. So primarily what we're still looking for is that potential that we're within a B wave or wave 2 here. We're looking at this as A, P, and then looking for this actual continuation to the downside. So once again, that 1-to-1 is still sitting here towards the zone of this 26,127. Obviously, if we do push up higher, this will push this 1-to-1 zone up here. So we're still looking for that evidence. We are looking to extend where we have an additional 1 and 2 here. That key support zone we need to hold is this 21,567 for that, for that to become more likely. If we fail to hold this zone, it becomes more likely we're going to actually have a breakdown from that point. Okay, so now what we were talking about in the previous video was looking for the potential of having a triangle here, looking to break from lower down, and I'm going to go into this now. And what we were talking about was basically looking for the potential that we could see this breakdown happen as a triangle, and we were looking for something like this to play out. Now, we actually came up too high here, and we've invalidated this because we've crossed all of these, especially this A wave here, so it can't be a triangle in that way. Now, this is still a possible variation where we could have had this E wave actually just come back up here and break this C wave high. Now, this is fine because we actually rejected and reversed straight away off the back of it. So if this is a B wave triangle in this way, what we'd expect is to actually come back down and take these two lows here. So primarily would be this 27,235, and then we'd be looking for this zone of this 26,942 to get broken, which would be the origin of this A wave. Now, if this is the case, basically what we'd be doing is looking for this C wave to the downside. That 1-to-1 would be that 26,127 area, and then we'd be looking for that reaction off this zone. So looking for a three-wave move down to this area. So now that would be looking at this as a corrective move. Now, because of the fact that we need to just be careful because we could still see something like this playing out where we actually have a bigger move to the downside, where we could look for a bigger structure forming where this becomes a 1, a 2, and then we look to actually break down for a third wave to the downside. Now, if we're going to look at this as a triangle, we can't look at it in this manner because basically what that would mean is that we have a triangle in a wave 2, which is not allowed. So the other way that I'm looking at this move to the upside is we could also argue that this was potentially a W and X, and this is a Y wave. If this is the case, we didn't actually cross this wave 1, but we did come quite high. So already the possibility of this is reduced just because of the depth of this wave 2. So we'll have to see if it actually plays out. But what I'm looking for here is the potential to actually break down towards this zone of this 25,586, looking for that possibility of continuation to the downside. A deeper move towards this zone would indicate that we are looking for this option to play out, but really it would only get confirmed by breaking down to this 23,965, because that would be that 1.618 of this as a wave 1 and a wave 2. So this is what we'll have to keep an eye out here if we do start to break to the downside. Obviously, if we do break back above this zone of this 30,036, it would invalidate the potential of this being a 1-2 and then looking for another 1 and a 2 here. So this is something we just have to just keep an eye on. If we do take these highs again at this 30,036, we do still have that potential, that there is more upside to come before we look to actually retrace. Okay, so now what we were talking about as well within this structure was looking for this move as a corrective move to the upside. So it is still possible that we could be looking at this, like I said, as a W, an X, and a Y, and we could be looking still for this move to come down in an A, a B, and then looking for a C wave. So that 1-to-1 would actually be down here at this 27,177. Currently, the way we're breaking down, though, I'm just keeping an eye on this. If we have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5, and we completed the 0.618 area, what I would need to see, which is actually sitting at this 28,213, what I'd want to see is if we actually have a three-wave move back to the upside, or if we look to reverse in a bigger way here and actually take this B wave high again, which is sitting at this 29,969. If we do have something like this, where we actually take this high again, it's possible that this move is actually just still in a bigger corrective structure here. But this has been W, this has been X. We have an A, B, and we're looking for that C wave to the upside still. So now this would be looking at that potential, looking to actually move up where we could have an X wave that's not completed yet. But this is basically our W wave. We've had an X wave to the downside, and we're looking for this as an A, a B, and a C. So this is the thing we need to be cautious of here. If we do have something like this, where this is a B wave, what we could have is just an expanding flat correction here. But I'd want to see one more leg to the downside because at the moment we only have A, B, and C. We don't have that additional fourth and fifth wave. So what I'd want to see is basically a fourth and a fifth wave develop here, looking to actually push down one more time. Now that would look like this. So really, as long as we stay below the zone of this 28,861, I would be looking for that continuation to the downside. Now, that target area I'd be looking for would be potentially towards the zone of this 28,105 to this 27,874 region. So they will be looking for, if we fail to break back above this 28,861 area and actually start to break down again in another 5-wave move, this would be our area. So now this would also be quite interesting because we have the center line of the channel here sitting towards the zone of this 27,940 area. So that would be a good place to keep an eye on if we do break down here. This would also actually bring us back up into some of these key areas if we went a little bit lower down towards the zone of this 27,874. Now the key thing here would be what happens after this move. If we do develop an additional fourth and a fifth here, we need to be careful of a 3-wave move back to the upside, failing to break back above this zone here of this 29,636 to this 29,198. If we only get a 3-wave structure back up here, I would be looking for that potential of continuation once again to the downside here. Now, it would make more sense to me that it would be a bigger 5-wave move, which would look to actually push down towards this 26,350. But if we just got a 1-to-1, it would look something like this, and we'd look to actually come back into the zone of this 27,468 area. So this is what we need to be a little bit cautious of here. If we do get a bigger 5-wave move down, so if we get an additional fourth and a fifth, this could set us up for a bigger 5-wave move if we fail to actually take these highs again. And as long as we remain below them, we need to just be careful because this could actually look to extend to the downside. Though we do need to be cautious of this possibility of a flat correction here, which would mean that we'd actually come back and take these highs here. If we take those highs, basically what I would be looking for here then is, like I said earlier, we'd be looking at that possibility this X is not completed. So the 1-to-1 would actually be here at this 30,141. But if it does look to push up higher, if we're looking at that 1-to-1 of this as an A, a B, and then looking for that C wave, 31,004 is going to be that 1-to-1. And then we also have these key areas here, this 1, 2, 3, 6, which would be this 30,870 and this 31,331. So we can see this would be quite an interesting zone. This 1-to-1 would actually set us up for a double top here. So we'll be keeping an eye on that if we do look to actually move up there in this way. Another thing that we can't really write off until we actually break down deeper or actually take these highs is the fact that this could actually still be within a bigger triangle where now instead of looking at this as basically C, D, and E, what this could be is that this could just be a more complex C wave, in which case we could still be actually within this D wave. So this is why I said it's important to see whether we get that additional fourth and a fifth. If we fail to achieve that, basically all we have is a 3-wave move down, which could actually be this D wave completed. It has also come down to the 0.618 of this previous wave. So this is going to be an area I'm keeping an eye on here. If we do look to push to the upside, there's two sort of targets I'm looking at if this is still actually within a triangle here, is I would be looking for this 0.618, which would actually be back into the C wave high here. So now this is a 0.618 of this previous wave here to the upside, and then basically, sorry, this wave here, and this is a 0.618 of the previous wave to the downside. So sometimes we can have a relationship to this wave, and then sometimes we can have a relationship to this wave. So that's why I've got these two numbers on here. But basically, if we fail to achieve an additional low here, what we need to be careful of is that we don't start to form 5-wave structure up here and then come back up into these highs and look to complete a bigger E wave here. So this E wave could potentially come back and retest this zone, this line of this A to C. So this is what I'm looking out for here. At the moment, I still am anticipating to have that fifth wave, but if it doesn't actually play out, we need to just be careful. Could be just a corrective structure to the downside here. And if this is a corrective structure, potentially what this means is we could look to actually take these highs if it's going to be a continuation where this is W, X, and Y, or alternatively, this could become our D wave. We get an E wave to the upside, and then we look to break down from that point. So we have also broken back into this channel. So this is what I want to just keep an eye on. If we continue to stay within the channel, we can potentially look to start to break down in a deeper way. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you will find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. As well as that, you'll find affiliate links for both Primex BT and BYBIT down there. Both great exchanges that we use on a regular basis. If you do not have an account, using the affiliate link does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Everyone have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.